On day 6 of our Albania trip, I'm doing a voiceover by the way because my mic died that day. We took a day trip out of Dhermi to visit what is considered to be one of the most beautiful beaches in Albania, Gipje Beach. Now getting there is already quite a challenge as it involves a 30-minute hike from a parking lot in the middle of nowhere. We were able to find a taxi driver for a hotel who drove us there for around 20 euro, which was a little bit more on the expensive side I guess for Albania, but it was a round trip for him, and he gave us his WhatsApp number so we could get back to him when we wanted to go back essentially to the city. You can also reach the beach if you're with your own 4x4 wheel drive vehicle, like this car right here, and if you are brave enough to actually drive down this insane road down to the ocean. And another option would be to just get a boat which are leaving from Dhermi or some other cities nearby, and they will drop you off and pick you up again at your desired time. We opted to walk, and once we started walking for around 10 minutes or so, we were soon greeted by the beautiful open ocean, and it was just stunning kind of walking all the way down for the 20 minutes with the ocean right to your side. Just a really beautiful scenic hike. And after a while, we were finally greeted by Gipje Beach. Gipje Beach was really beautiful. The water was crystal clear and the high cliffs really made this place feel completely secluded and away from everything else. During the high months, there are a few facilities at this beach, including the usual beach chairs with an umbrella that you can rent at mostly every beach in Albania, as well as a small restaurant selling a selection of drinks and food. Outside of the high months, I would recommend bringing your own food and drinks because there's probably not going to be anything around. However, you can also camp at the beach and stay overnight. Many people were doing that with their camping cars or even just tents, and it honestly feels like there's a small community of people around there. Behind Gipje Beach itself, there is also a canyon hike through Gipje Canyon, which I would say is only recommended if you have the right hiking gear, as I read it's not particularly well maintained. We essentially just spent the entire day lazing around in the sun, hopping into the refreshing ocean when it got too hot, and otherwise just enjoying the beautiful nature all around us. Now overall, is Gipje Beach worth visiting? Well, it depends. If you are staying in Dhermi or in Himare or in any of the cities around Gipje Beach, I would say it's definitely worth doing it as a day trip, either going there by boat or by taxi or by your own car, or even hiking all the way there, which will take a couple of hours, but it is doable. However, going out of your way to go to this part of Albania just to see Gipje Beach, I would say that's not necessarily worth it. However, if you decide to stay overnight perhaps, maybe even camp on the beach, I think that would be a really cool experience, and if you wanna try that, then Gipje Beach is definitely worth it. One thing to keep in mind about Gipje Beach is that because it was advertised for the last couple of years as this really secluded and off the beaten path, no tourist beach, as soon as something like this gets advertised online, that just means that a lot of people are gonna go there. We were there in mid to end September on a weekday, and it still didn't really feel completely off the beaten path. It was nowhere near as bad as Xamil Beach, which we were at the day before. However, it certainly didn't feel completely off the beaten path. There were still a lot of tourists. I think a lot of people are aware of this beach, so that's just something to keep in mind, especially if you go in the main season in July or August. I don't think you're gonna have that necessarily feel of complete secludedness and complete quietness that a lot of people are advertising with this beach online. That was already it for our second to last day in Albania. We essentially just took the taxi back into town, went to the same fish restaurant as the other day because there's not much else to eat in that part of Dhermi that we were staying at. And yeah, our trip continues to our last day in Tirana tomorrow. I hope that you will stick with us until the end, and as always, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.